Hi everyone and welcome to this lesson. This is a continuation of mini SEO setup. So we are still on on-site optimization, and in this lesson we're focusing on securing your website. Why is it important to secure your website? It is important because your website is your house or your bank or your shop or your office online. And in all of these places, we believe that very important and special and safe documents and private documents are kept in there. So it is very important to secure those places, right? Who wants armed robber to actually burgle their house? Nobody. So that is why it is very important. Now, a myth that goes around that people talk about a lot is that WordPress is not secured. I want to demystify that. I want to let you know that that is fallacy and that is completely false, right? So whatever language that you build your website on, either Laravel, Django, any language whatsoever, it is will be prone to attack. This is not because it was built with one language or the other. It is just because it is a website, right? And websites, why people attack websites is because of information that they can get. Now, information that they can get and make money from. I'm talking about hackers, black hat hackers, right? You know the idea that they talk about, that they say that it takes a thief to be able to catch a thief. So even the people that catches hackers, what they do is they try to imagine what the hackers would think about how they think before they can then put up a preventive measure to protect them or block them away, right? And that is what we are going to be doing also. Now, like I mentioned, over 40 or 30 to 40% of the worldwide website is powered by WordPress alone, which is the highest number of a platform, right? So the remaining 70%, 70 to 60% is shared amongst every other programming languages, right? And the evolving ones. That's to let you know that WordPress is actually very secured. So what makes it differ is how your knowledge and how it's being handled, right? Don't let anybody try to make it seem like WordPress is bad. It's a big lie. As a matter of fact, a lot of top websites around the globe use WordPress. You can just go to Google and type in how many websites in the world uses WordPress, what examples of website, and you would be amazed at what you will see, right? I know for certain some financial institutions actually use their front end, WordPress as their front end, right? So please do not subscribe to that school of thought that WordPress is not secured. It is highly secure. It is how you are able to secure it that matters, which is the same as every other bank. How are people able to hack FBI websites? If it's not because, is it built with WordPress? It's not even built with WordPress, right? So any website can be hacked, right? So let's get that straight. So let's talk about how can you improve and why should you even bother, right? It is because a secured website gives an assurance to people. It gives them an insurance, right? Think about it. If you visit a website and then you see that it doesn't have this padlock, what would you do? Would you still, and they're asking you to make payments, would you put in your card details? That is exactly what we're talking about. About 5 years ago, 4 to 5 years ago, there's no law that says that you must have a padlock on your website. There's no law that says that. But when the volume of website hack became rampant, then the search engine and all of them browsers had to up the security level to make sure that at least they increase the basic level to HTTPS. And what they simply did was they created an SSL certificate and license. It's like the SSL is an acronym for Site Security Lock, right? So they just created this to add to the security of this website so that it will be come to this level. That's what it is, right? If you notice, there are some websites that you will go and then in the URL, instead of seeing the padlock, you see a name, the name of the company. That is another level of security. That one requires a lot more to acquire, right? Before now, SSL is like very, very expensive, but now it is now free for some platforms, for some hosting companies. So if you do not have it, please best speak with your developer or the hosting company where you purchased your hosting from. They may make it, they may be selling it, right? Or it may come as free add-on just because you are hosting your website with them, right? That's one. Number two is best practice, because I mean, like I mentioned to you, at one point in time, nobody needed to worry about if their website was at HTTPS or HTTP. You just need a URL, right? But then because of the hacking that became rampant and very, very, very I mean, people were losing their details. So then they had to increase the level of the security, which is what happened. And then now what happens is any website that doesn't have HTTPS, Google and other browsers, they just warn the user that's about to visit the website. They will warn you and ask you, are you sure you still want to visit this website? Because this website may be fraudulent, maybe this, maybe that, maybe they just want the user. If the user still thinks he or she wants to still visit that website, then he or she needs to click on the advanced, and then to be able to proceed. Right. So if you're wondering why you're spending money and you're not getting results, if your website is HTTPS, that may be one of the reasons why. Right. So please let's note that. Another thing is user protection. If you check all the websites that have this, if you click your mouse on, if you click on them, the padlock, it will tell you connection secured, meaning that any details are, and in fact, they usually put like a short intro there that the card details and your details that you put in there are secured. That's another level of assurance for protecting the users, right? So that is why it is also very important that you make sure that your website you have HTTPS. And another level to that is to now, I mean, that is one level of security. I mean, beyond that is also to also think like the so-called thief, the so-called um, hackers, right? That's one another thing that we need to do, right? How do we do that? I recommend that everyone install this plugin, iTheme Security plugin. That's the plugin I use to protect myself, to protect my client's website against hack. So without much ado, let me just quickly take you into my website so we can quickly walk you through. Right, so this is my website that I created, right? And I've already installed the plugin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable the plugin and then install it afresh. That's what I'm going to do to make it easy for you, because we want to assume that you do not have that plugin. So I'm going to deactivate it and then I'm going to delete it. I'm going to deactivate and then we'll delete. Yes, and then I'm going to delete it. Awesome. Now that that has been done, the next thing to do is you just click on add new. Come to plugins and then click on add new. So you just come here and then you type hi theme security. Right, and so we'll just right away, just click on install now. We install and then we activate it. We'll install and activate it. Right, awesome. So then we click on activate. After the activation, we will then go and set it up. Now, after activation, if you look to your left panel, you should see security. It has now been added. Also at the top here, but let's just come here and then click on setup. So now ignore this. If not, it will just tell you to get started. Right, but let me see what we need to do. Basically, so once you click on get started, it brings you to this place. It brings you here, and then you then need to specify, how and what you want to do. So if it's an e-commerce website, you click on this, you just continue, next. Okay, select user role that you want to assign. Click on next, lock out. Make sure it's you leave everything like as it is, and then you click on next. Now at this point, do you want us to do custom group, or you want to? So I will just do default. Default means that I want it to be the way it is. So let me skip user group. Let me even skip user and then go to configure. Then I click on recommendations. Let me check IP detection. Okay, this is my IP. Then we click on next. Brute force. Okay, I'm going to put my email address. So whenever they want to send a notification, what email address do I want them to send it from? I'll just leave it blank, and they will use the administrator's email. Now let's now secure the website. You just click on secure the website, and then you see it will by itself just check one by one, and then secure the website. So just click on finish. Now that this has been done, now let's go back to settings. Now that we're here, click on advanced, advanced. Once you click on advanced, untick all this, untick them, save. Go to the next tab. Let's ignore this. Let's ignore this. Then backend. Let's hide the backend. Now here we need to specify what URL we want to use for our login. We need to specify. It already says that it cannot be this, it cannot be anything else. So I'm going to use mini as the URL. By default, the default is WP admin, WP login, WP-admin, WP-login, login, admin, dashboard. But in this case, I'm changing it to mini. So I've saved that. Then let's also go to tools and see what happens. Everything is good. Everything is good. Let's go to log. Everything seems pretty okay. Everything seems pretty okay. Right. Let's also go back to settings. Let's go back to settings. Right. I think we are done here. I think we're done here. We're done. We're done. We're done. Let's get our vulnerability report. Meaning that they will be sending us reports on vulnerability reports generally everywhere. What is happening where and what is happening in places. Monitor the site for unexpected patches exactly. So we want to make sure that we are monitoring our website. This is also very key in case anything changes. I think we already walked through this. Enforce SSL. This is like very, very important. This is very, very important. Right? Enforce SSL. So nobody will be able to log into your website without having SSL. That is very, 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 very important. Let's also click on Security Check Pro, and once we've done that, we've done the lockout. Okay, we've done lockout, audio security. We've done that. Good. So now let's test what we have done. Let me log out. We'll go to our home page. Do hard reset to clear the cache of the website and try to log in with let's try login, see what happens, if we'll be able to access the backend and then put in the login details. Says this page doesn't exist. Let's try WP login. Like I said, we want to think like the hackers who would try to access the backend so that they can log in and perpetrate their evil. right? These are the things that they are going to test. Oh, really? This one works. Good. Then they wouldn't try. Let's also try mini. If mini also works, right? So then we can log in. So please make sure that you remember that the URL that we changed our address to. Please make sure that you remember. If you remember, when we went to advanced settings, from settings to advanced, from settings to advanced, and then we went to hide, and then under hide, then we did this, right? So please make sure that yes, just make sure of that. Yes, so I think that's about it. I'm going to see you in the next lesson. Thank you.